Hey guys, welcome to the January 16, 2023 edition of AEW Dark Elevation. My name's Dan, and first off, I'd like to apologize for there being no Dynamite or Rampage reviews last week. Long story short, somebody dug where they weren't supposed to, and I was without internet for quite some time. So, barring that from ever happening again, I will be reviewing all AEW shows going forward. That's everything from this one to all of their pay-per-views. So if you missed the show and you want a quick recap, or if you watch every single AEW show and you want a place to talk all things AEW, you can do so right here. So please go right below this video, click that like button, the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell, because not only does that mean you don't miss a single review, but also helps others to find my channel. And without any further ado, let's get into the review. Kicking things off on Dark Elevation, we had Johnni and Robbi teaming up with Vipress and Zyra to take on Nyla, Rose, Marina, Shafir, and Sakura. And there still seems to be more issues between Nyla, Marina, and Vicky as they were sort of talking on their way to the ring. Even bled into the match where we saw some blind tags. There was opportunities for Marina to tag Nyla in and vice versa, and every single time that happened, they tagged in Emmy. And after a while, Nyla just sort of got tired of things, got into the ring, powerbombed Zyra, and Emmy pinned her to get the win. There was still a lot of talking after the match. Not really quite sure where this is going. Surely it's going to be a breakup of some kind, but I'm very, very curious to see where it goes. After that, we had Daniel Garcia going up against Kevin Blackwood, and finally, we got our first Daniel Garcia match of 2023. Had a great back and forth with a few near falls. Daddy Magic had even mentioned the fact that they're both Buffalo boys, which means they're very familiar with each other, and that certainly showed throughout the match. Ultimately, though, it was Daniel Garcia picking up the win with what looked like a cross between a Code Breaker and an Impaler DDT. Maybe that's an homage to Chris Jericho, not really sure, but either way, he gets the win over Blackwood. Then we go backstage where Lexi is standing with Matt Hardy and Isiah Kassidy. Matt talks about all the momentum that he's been on lately, but Lexi does mention the fact that it's not going to be a 6-man tag, but an 8-man tag, and Isiah's wondering who the hell the fourth guy is, and in walks Ethan Page and Brandon Cutler of all people. Matt says that Isiah isn't showing a lot of enthusiasm, and says he needs to show the same enthusiasm that Brandon is showing. He's clearly going all sorts of crazy. He's having such a great time. There was even a point where Ethan says that Isiah needs to bring the fun out because it doesn't really look like he's having fun. He does the famous Hardy pose, which for the second week in a row, Lexi is looking like she's about to break. She looks like she's about to lap, but she bites her lip, she bites her tongue, whatever she needs to do. Kudos to her for not losing it there. I certainly would have. It was a fun segment, but more to come on this story in a bit. Back to the ring, it was Nick Ruiz, Zack, Clayton, and Trustbusters Ari Daivari versus Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and my guy right here, Evil Uno of the Dark Order. And Ari cuts a great promo on the way to the ring, really getting the crowd against them, so the eventual loss against the Dark Order would be more impactful. It's always fun to see the heel get their comeuppance, and he eventually did here with Dark Order, getting the win on Nick Ruiz with their swinging crucifix slam. We go backstage once again where Lexi is standing with Konosuke Takeshita, where it's quickly interrupted by Don Callis. If you guys have been following social media at all, you know they've been seen a lot together. Could potentially mean some sort of working relationship going down the line. He points out some of the things that may have prevented him from defeating Danielson, basically working too much, says it's something that Kenny used to do. Gives him a card. He's like, hey, you need some help sometime, give me a call. This could be very, very interesting, very fun. Maybe Konosuke becomes a member of the Elite, or maybe, and I'm just spitballing here, him versus Kenny Omega would be just delightful. Back to the ring again, and this time it's Perro Peligroso, Preston Vance teaming up with Ruiz against Misterioso and Diego Valens. It wasn't really too much of a match, really just more to show off the heel tactics from both of these guys. Ruiz ends up pinning Misterioso after hitting a very, very devastating bull horns in the corner, even continuing their disrespect after the match by ripping off Misterioso's mask and also beating up Diego Valens with an extension cord. Oof, that looked rough. After that, it was that 8-man tag I was telling you guys about with Brandon Cutler teaming up with Matt Hardy, Isiah Kassidy, and Ethan Page going up against Pretty Peter Avalon, Ryan Nemeth, Luther and Serpentico. And as always with these, Ethan was great, doing his usual singing down to the ring, even adding in some lyrics with Brandon Color in it was fantastic. Lots of talking throughout the match with him being on the microphone. Everyone was just absolutely fantastic, played their part perfectly. There was even a great spot where Ethan was standing in front of Isiah, and Isiah looks like he's about to do a crossbody onto him, but does a crossbody onto Serpentico and Luther instead. Then he does a great tope off of Matt Hardy's back. Looks so good. All of his topes just look so freaking phenomenal. And then as the match ends, we saw Isiah hit the Swanton. But unfortunately for him, Ethan did a blind tag. Literally picks him off of him, throws him out of the ring, and gets the pin. Isiah is absolutely irate. Has to be separated by Matt Hardy. It's very interesting to see where this is going now. When's the break-off going to happen? Are they can continue to do these 6-man tags, 8-man tags, maybe even a 5-man tag next week? I'm not really sure, but I'm getting very, very anxious to see how exactly Matt and Isiah are going to break off from the firm. Then we had what I would like to call match of the night with WILLIE Mack going up against Brian Cage. WILLIE Mack, of course, making his AEW debut. Got a great response from the crowd. Would have liked for him to have his own actual theme instead of the theme from Dark Elevation, but still that did not take away at all from everything that was happening here. The match was just so awesome. You had Brian Cage showing off his strength, basically catching WILLIE Mack in midair, and Willie is not a small dude. Not a small dude in the slightest. Then you had a Willie hitting a beautiful, and I mean beautiful, rolling senton in the corner, then showing how ridiculously agile he is. He does a kick up into a standing moonsault. It looks so awesome. But Brian Cage does end up picking up the win here. But look. I know the roster is pretty full already. I get it. But you gotta sign this man. I mean, please sign this man. There are so many fun matches that he can have, especially when ROH finally gets that TV deal. I think he would be perfect there. Up next, it was the ROH Women's World Champion Athena versus Zeda Zhang, and not really too much to speak of on this one outside of just how great Athena is. I love how good she is at being this aggressive, I'm gonna beat your ass while talking trash to you heel. She ends up picking up the win with a crossface, does her usual heel shenanigans afterwards by beating her up. But Yuka Sakazaki ends up coming out for the save. Looks like we're going to get that match coming up real soon. That should be a lot of fun. 2 thumbs up from me. We go backstage once again where Alexei is now standing with Prince Nana of the Embassy, touting their success. And in comes in the same people who tried to recruit Juice last week. The Dark Order, really trying hard here, really leaning into Dark Order, saying how much they smell or whatever. Either way, this was great. I hope they continue to do this as we saw last week with Juice. Them just continuing to recruit somebody and then recruit somebody. It failed every single time, but that last time they are able to recruit that one person. Not sure who it is, but I'm very excited to see who it is. We head back to the ring for the main event with Butcher and the Blade versus Claudio and Wheeler versus Top Flight, and this match started off super hot with Claudio and Wheeler going right after Butcher and the Blade. You had Top Flight doing their dueling topes onto all of them. Later on, Claudio did all of his greatest hits with doing a series of European uppercuts onto the Blade. Even does a giant swing onto the Butcher. I don't care who he does that to. It always looks so damn cool. Then, speaking of cool, you had Darius give an impressive Spanish fly onto Wheeler. And surprisingly, Top Flight picking up the win here. Very interesting to see where this goes because they seem to be booking members of Top Flight with members of BCC a lot lately. Makes me think they're going to be having some sort of feud coming up sometime soon. I'm very excited to see it. And that was AEW Dark Elevation. What do you guys think about it? Please let me know down in the comment section below. Standout things from me here. Certainly that WILLIE Mack versus Brian Cage match was just so much fun. You need to go out of your way to watch that. And that main event with Top Flight picking up a very surprising win. Another fun one. So if you enjoy what you saw here today, please go right below this video, hit that like button, the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell, because again, that always lets you see future reviews that I do, but also helps others to find my channel. So thank you guys again for checking this out, and thank you guys for being all elite.